A very appropriately scheduled doubleheader, kind of in between the rain here in Indianapolis. We feel good about getting two in today on the ISC Sports Network. It is Marian, it is Taylor, and it's a Marian team that after losing their season opener, they have won 23 consecutive games, including all 12 they have played so far in the Crossroads League. My name is Greg Rakestraw. Thrilled to have Kelsey Casper with us on the first time today on ISC as this game's about to go live. Kelsey, quick thoughts. What's caught your attention in getting ready for today's double dip?
Well, I think you said it. 23 straight games of this team, Marian, on an absolute tear. And it's also going through conference play as well. They're perfect. So, Taylor, a challenge of them up ahead against this Marian team.
And Emma West swings, a leadoff hitter for Taylor. She is the starting shortstop in today's game for head coach Jessica Brown in her first season. This Taylor team has great memories of being here last May. They were able to play their way into the NAIA National Tournament by finishing as a runner-up in the conference tournament that took place here the first week of May. Olivia Stunkel in the circle today for Marian. We'll get you the full Taylor batting order coming up as we get to our second hitter of the inning. This one's slap foul, and we'll do it again at 0-2. For Marian, they are coming off the heels of a big afternoon yesterday as they swept a pair from chief rival Indiana Wesleyan, who won both the regular season and conference tournament championships a year ago. Iowa coming in at number 6 in the NAIA, but struggled a little bit in conference play so far. They are 6-6. Tapper, Stunkel's got it. Over to first base and Sierra Norman, and there is one away. So with that now, let's show you the remainder of the batting lineup for the Taylor Trojans. Jersey Tannehill will be batting second. She is the first baseman. Livy Lehman is the second baseman, batting third. Delaney McCreary will be batting fourth. This one hopped to home plate. So 1-0 the count. Swing and a miss on the fastball. Tannehill could not catch up with it. Tannehill on the season. She has played in all 27 games for Taylor. Batting .262 on the campaign. Does not have a home run, but does have 10 runs batted in. A little high, 2-1 the count. Stunkel in the circle for Marian. Young lady from southwestern Indiana. Played at Gibson Southern High School. Gibson Southern, one of those schools that simply is good in every sport. We saw their very talented girls basketball team on ISC earlier this year. They came up to North Central and played in the Paul Logan Memorial Classic. Count at 2-2 as the bells chime for 3 o'clock local time. This one sprayed foul. We'll do it again, 2-2. Stunkel on the season, a perfect 11-0, 0.6 ERA, and you get a rise ball like that, you can see why. 2 down.
Yeah, Stunkel uses a lot of her speed to just power the ball past hitters like that. You see her going for the rise there, places it perfectly right above the letters. Tannehill had no shot of touching that one, but we've also seen her mix up the speed so far. Against West, she threw the changeup against the slapper, able to just get a little dribbler to her. So we've seen her mixing speeds, but really showing that power.
Bell-tie fastball thrown by Stunkel. And the count at 0-1. Livy Lehman, the player she is lining up against, number 3 hitter. It's one of the new faces in the lineup for Taylor this year, as Lehman sprays that one foul. And one of the few players in today's game that is not a native of the state of Indiana. In fact, a quick check of the lineup. There are 4 non-Hoosiers, if you will, in today's game. They all play for Taylor. Lehman from Kenosha, Wisconsin. 0-2 pitch. Change up. That is foul. And as you can see, the grass is in its kind of mid-spring lush carpet mode. Season started about a month ago for the Marian Knights. This is the first of 2 doubleheaders we'll have for you on ISC this April. This one spins and batter kind of stumbled getting out of the box, but no damage done. We'll do it again at 0-2.
And we've seen Stunkel throw back-to-back changeups now. She's really trying to keep these hitters off-balanced in every single at-bat. So you can power through her, but back-to-back changeups really keeping them off balance. So an 0-2 count here. She's still keeping it close, but maybe wants to get her swinging at something.
Almost got that to bend in the zone. Deemed to be a little bit high.
She doesn't
count at 1-2.
She doesn't shy away from it either.
No.
3 straight off-speed pitches for Stunkel. She wanted that one called for a strike.
When you're throwing as well as she has been, I think it's like, here it is, see if you can hit it. Comes back with the fastball to change the velocity. Good job by Lehman to get a piece to see another one. The count remains 1-2. Lehman this year batting .353. 4 home runs and 25 runs batted in. Popped up. Third baseman comes in, makes the play. That's Green, and no damage under the top half of the first. 3 up, 3 down for Taylor. Marian comes to bat when we come back as you're watching Marian University softball here on the ISC Sports Network.
Meet Zach. Day and night, rain or shine, even just out for a spin, Zach gets around. But we know Zach, and at Indiana Members Credit Union, we know he's been saving up to trade up. IMCU is here to help Zach and you drive your dream. Lock in your rate with pre-approval. It's fast, free, and makes buying the car of your dreams easier. Today, it's all about Zach. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters.
Scott Fleming on your screen. He's a couple of victories away from 700 in his outstanding career at Marian University. Here is the batting lineup that he will throw out there today. Harwager, Minix, and Norman. Meyer, Green, Madeir, Baker, Knox, and Pritchett. Stunkel again shows up on your lineup, but she will not be swinging the bat today for Marian. Their opponent today, in terms of in the circle. Take a look at the catcher for this Taylor team. It's McCreary, Noah. Pitcher today for Taylor, Mackenzie, a sophomore from Allen Park, Michigan.
Leading off for the Knights in the bottom of the first inning, the shortstop, number 30, Savannah Harwager.
So Harwager steps to the plate. Harwager, senior from Seymour, played at Trinity Lutheran High School. Harwager watches that one go by for a strike. Well, Harwager is asked to get on the base paths, and I think you could say she does that. She's got 49 hits and 88 at-bats so far this year, batting .557. This one hopped to home plate, and it levels the count at 1-1. Harwager, 3 home runs, 23 runs batted in. What's unique about Harwager is, as the leadoff hitter, she has the most runs batted in on the team. Trying to steer that one left side, and good eye by the senior. And the count in her favor now at 2-1.
Yeah, you mentioned leading in RBIs. You don't see that as the leadoff hitter very often, but she leads in batting average. She's second in stolen bases. She can practically do it all out there.
And again, Noah kind of working her way around the dish. Couldn't get that to go. The count now 3-1. This Marian team has 15 home runs this season. Harwager has 3 of them. At 3-1, should get a good pitch to hit here. She didn't, and good eye. Noah put that a little closer to the black than the previous 2, but still couldn't get the call. And Harwager works a walk. It's the 10th time she has earned a free pass this year. And now Jenna Minix will come to the plate. Minix, the sophomore from Plainfield. Shows bunt, tries to put it down. Bobbled. So another look, it's 0-1. Minix on the season batting .297. She has started every game but 1 this year for Coach Fleming. Does have 1 home run, 15 runs batted in. Swings away at this one, and Sends that one to the tennis courts, and the count is 0-2. Minix on 6 previous occasions has been asked to move the runner along and has done so successfully. Not surprising when you have a player like Harwager hitting in front of her. This one hopped to home plate, no advance from Minix, or excuse me, Harwager. And the count 1-2. Outfield playing straight away. Left fielder shallow for the number 2 hitter at Minix. Noah, the look to the dugout, the look to the wristband for the signal. And misses that one high. Never threatened the strike zone there. 2-2 the count. Inside, full count. So from 0-2 to 3-2. This is the first time these two teams have seen each other this season. As they would say in soccer, the reverse fixture is the last day of the regular season. Marian will go to Upland on Saturday, April the 29th. Sprayed foul. Kelsey mentioned a moment ago that Harwager over at first base is the team leader in stolen bases for the Knights. They have been so potent with the bats, they haven't had to move runners very much this year. Speaking of potent, how about that? That one left the yard. Home run. Minix on the second at bat of the day stakes Marian to a 2-0 lead.
Home run, number 25, Jenna Minix.
Her second home run of the season.
And Jenna Minix did such a good job of prolonging this at-bat. It was about an 8-pitch at-bat. She waited for the right pitch, left it right over the middle of the plate, and she drove that to left center field. Second at-bat of the game. They're up by 2.
If memory serves me correctly, I think Minix homered in one of our games we did last year on the ISC Sports Network. So she clearly is a fan of our cameras being here.
Sierra Norman.
Here's Sierra Norman, and usually this is where the pop comes in the lineup for this Marian team. Norman, 4 home runs, 21 runs batted in. I think a crisp 368 on the season. Norman, a junior from Columbus North High School. Two 2-0 the count. See the sun breaking through the clouds. This has a chance to be the warmest day of the spring so far if the sun stays out. You and I, Kelsey, both have the chance to do a handful of Indiana State University broadcasts during the year, so my Weather Channel app is set to Terre Haute and Indianapolis. When first pitch temperature was 67 degrees. Temperature in Terre Haute was 76 degrees. So
wow.
The sunshine and warmth is heading our way up I-70.
Something you don't get late March, early April,
No.
especially during softball season, is this good weather. So soaking it in and enjoying it on this Tuesday afternoon.
Thought Norman might have enough clout where she might get a 3-0 green light. She didn't that time, and that ball was, as Howard Kellman would say, right down meridian. 3-1 the count. This one misses high, and it's a 4-pitch walk, and it's a dangerous precedent that Noah is setting. Walk, homer, walk to the first 3 batters she's faced.
Yeah, and you saw in the first 2 batters, Noah actually got ahead in the count, throwing strikes early. But after that first walk, then she left one right over the plate for that home run. She's a little off balanced right now. Gave up the walk right here. She needs to settle things down and hopefully get some outs going.
And there's no respite in this Marian lineup. Noah also not getting a corner here either. She has been right around it a lot, but has yet to find exactly where that location is.
Yeah, especially on those lefties. She's liking to paint the corners. She can't give any of these Marian hitters too much of the plate or else they're going to attack.
Turns on this one. They'll get the lead runner at second, even though Meyer is the catcher. She was hustling down the line. You're not going to turn that in the ball of that speed. Should be also of note that there is already activity in the bullpen going for Taylor. So we'll monitor that as well.
Batting for the Knights,
So
third
first
baseman,
out
number
retired,
8,
4-6.
Haley Green.
Meyer, the runner at first base. So here's Haley Green. Green batting .329. Turns on this one. Does it have the distance? Yes, it absolutely does. That one well into the parking lot. 4-0 Knights in the home half of the first.
Home run, number 8, Haley Green.
Well, this is a Marian team that has done a lot of things well. But frankly, home runs, they have not been a huge precedent for them this year. 17 in 25 games played. They're working on that average. Green, that was gone 2 steps in as she slow rolled her way around the bases. 4-0 Knights.
What a statement from this offense right here in the first inning, putting 4 runs up. It almost looked like the same exact pitch and same exact spot as the home one we saw from Minix just a few batters earlier. So the Marian offense coming alive early in this one.
This one sent to right. Right fielder had it played well. And finally, after kind of a couple of stumbles, Rostetter able to track it down. So Abby Madeir, the freshman from Franklin Central's appearance was a brief one. And there's 2 down. Now it's Savannah Baker, who is the DP for today's game.
Batting for Marian, designated player number 6.
Baker
Savannah
getting her
Baker.
16th start of the season. She's played in 19 of 25 games, and Baker is one of 8 Marian batters hitting north of 300 on the season. I'm not sure I need to give further explanation into your playing well when we said you won 23 games in a row. Another sign of that for Marian is that their team batting average is .335 heading into today's game.
Yeah, from start to finish of this lineup, there isn't a drop or anything like that. They consistently hit from top to bottom, which makes it so difficult for a defense, for a pitcher to work with, especially with NAIA out here. She really has to work on hitting her spots and not giving them too much, but still putting the pressure on them.
Could be a problem here. NAIA tries to hustle to get to it, but not in time. Hit is given. Mitch Huppert's in a generous mood. Runner on first and 2 down here in the home half of the first.
Batting for the Knights, second baseman.
So Brooke
number
Knox.
1, Knox.
Brooke is the lone Marian player not from Indiana. From Chicago, Illinois. Plainfield North, that's south side of Chicago, I believe, if I have my geography correct. Is that accurate?
You said south side?
Yeah, south-ish.
Ish, I think.
More westish? Okay.
Got to look at my map. I would say more west.
Hey, you grew up inside of the lake, so I'm
Yeah.
going to trust your knowledge.
I can't
on
say
this.
anything.
As a Munster grad. This one flared to left center. Will get down for a base hit. Station to station. Knocks a clean single. And Marian will bat around here in the bottom half of the first as Anna Pritchett will step to the plate. Pritchett, a freshman from Greenwood.
Batting for Marian, number 9, Anna Pritchett.
Pritchett batting .296. Does not have a run batted in. You get an idea what she's going to do. The proximity of the third baseman to home plate. That does hit the outside corner for a strike. So Pritchett's job as the number 9 hitter is to simply roll it over to Harwager, the leadoff batter. That misses. 1-1 the count. Pritchett with 16 hits in 54 at-bats. And again, to further explain that she's going to bury this from the dirt left side, she has 17 total bases on those 16 hits. Foul tip. 1-2 the count. Pritchett gets her 21st start of the year. There's a beehive of activity here at the athletic complex. You got football players into spring practice to our right, baseball team getting a workout to our left. Our cameras will be on the baseball field in 2 days. We'll have the baseball doubleheader coming up against St. Francis. It's been moved to an evening game on Thursday. 6 o'clock double dip on the ISC Sports Network. Jim Leisure joins me for that. This one, slap foul. Left fielder couldn't get there in time, but again, foul territory. Then we'll do it again at 2-2. So Baker at second, Knox at first. Already 2-run blast by Jenna Minix and Haley Green. Swing and a miss, and the inning is over, but the damage most certainly done. Marian on 4 hits, scores 4 runs, mixed 2 walks in there as well, and a couple of big flies to get this conference tilt started. Knights lead at 4-0 after 1 as you're watching Marian softball on the ISC Sports Network.
Meet Chip. 30 years ago, he started a small business with a big idea. Today, there's a new building, a new fleet of equipment, and a new era of leadership. But we know Chip, and at Indiana Members Credit Union, we know he plans to keep growing, building business with the next generation. IMCU is here to help with secure and simple account management tools and commercial financing to grow business. Today, it's all about Chip. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters.
Love that sign honoring Mike Henderson, legendary figure on the Marian campus, started the softball program. You watch on the sleeves of the Marian players, MH is on that sleeve as well. Always good to reference Mike when we are here. Batting lineup now for Taylor. We already seen West, Tannehill, and Lehman, 1, 2, and 3. McCreary, Rostetter, Grimm, 4, 5, 6. Coming up this time through. You see the remainder of the lineup for first-year head coach Jessica Brown. This one sprayed foul. Delaney McCreary, freshman catcher. Leadoff batter. Pops this one up. Green's over to make the play. Quickly 1 down.
Well, unlike the Marian team, who had batted through their entire lineup, got really good looks at NAIA, they went 1-2-3 the first inning against Stunkel here. So this team really has to make adjustments quick to what she's throwing. Relaying the message to the next batter on is what you're seeing she's throwing out there to really get some rhythm and hopefully put up some runs on a 4-0 score right now.
Here's Aaliyah Rostetter. Aaliyah's from Frankton High School. Starting right fielder in today's game. Rostetter, third best average. You can see why. She turns that fastball into the first base hit and first runner for Taylor. She'll improve on her .359 mark coming into this one. And there's 1 on and 1 out. Pretty simple. See, fastball, hit fastball. Right back up the box. Now it's Caitlin Grimm's turn at bat. Caitlin, a senior from Yorktown. So Yorktown is well represented in today's game because they've got a starter on each side of today's contest. Savannah Baker for the Knights is also a Yorktown grad. Couldn't catch up with that ball kind of tailing off the outside corner. And the count at 0-2. Grimm batting .310 on the season. Change up. Meyer tried to frame that one, but it was outside. 1-2 the count.
Yeah, you could see Stunkel really working the outside against these lefties. It worked for the first 2 pitches against her. She goes for it again.
Good job by Grimm just to stay alive on that one. Grimm, no home runs and 10 runs batted in so far this season. Taylor coming in at 14-12, 6-6 Crossroads League action. That's good for a tie for 5th with their rival Indiana Wesleyan. Foul ball, good job to somehow put the brakes on in terms of slowing down that swing. That was a Bugs Bunny level changeup that Stunkel just threw on that one.
Exactly. As long as your hips go but your hands stay back, that's all that matters. That's what she did just to get a piece on it. You know you're not going to get a hit off of that, but just keeping it back. That time she got it.
Called strike 3. Stunkel thought she might have had kind of one like that last inning. Kind of move that ball down a little bit to get her second K of the afternoon. first of the backwards variety. Two down. Letter high fastball that Meg Stanley couldn't catch up to. Meg played at Shenandoah High School. And our partners at 9-Star are televising their first high school softball game of the season today, and it just happens to feature those Shenandoah Raiders as they play at Pendleton Heights. You'll see that on ISC TV and social starting tomorrow. Count it 1-1. Don't think that was the pitch that Stunkel had intended to throw because she was smiling as that left her hand. 2-1 the count.
Yeah, her off-speed's been working all day, but sometimes if you don't just get that wrist around just perfectly, ends up a little high.
Well, she found the rhythm and the range on that one. Just pumped the gas, middle of the plate, and the count at 2-2. Comes back with a fastball, moved a little off the plate. Stanley did not stand a chance, and we are quickly through 1.5. Here at Marian, Knights enjoying a 4-love lead as you're watching on the ISC Sports Network.
Meet Kate. She has a lot to juggle. Family, work, it can lead to trying days and tired nights. But we know Kate, and at Indiana Members Credit Union, we know at some point her space at a premium life may change. IMCU is here to help Kate and you find your space. Now, add on or remodel with an introductory rate of 3.9% APR on a home equity line of credit. Today, it's all about Kate. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters.
I'm not sure if I should really give the full tenor of this read because it's kind of a gray day. But our friends at AAA Roofing says, when it rains, it pours. So trust the pros at AAA Roofing. That's who we call. So Kotloski is going to begin to pitch here for Taylors. They'll make a change. Kenny Kotloski is a freshman from New Pal and had the pleasure of seeing Ed Markham's team a lot over the years. She is one of a pair of freshman Dragons on this Taylor roster, Delaney Barton being the other. Had the pleasure of doing a sectional game at New Pal a couple years that Katie was a part of. That featured Keegan Rothrock, who is the top high school pitcher in the nation that pitches for Roncalli. And I remember that too because it was kind of the spring of 2021, and it was kind of one of the first sporting events where there wasn't much in terms of an audience restriction or things like that. Spring sports outdoors, so obviously masks were optional at that point. New Pal has set up their stadium. It is truly a stadium. It gets in about 1,500 for a high school softball game. And to be there when it was completely full with that atmosphere was so, so cool. 2-0 the count. There was only about 7 or 8 Division I players that were playing in that game that day between those two teams. So top of the lineup rolling back through here for Marian. Harwager walked and scored on the Jenna Minnick's 2-run blast. Last time through. Change up, tapped, back to Kotloski. Rifles that one to beat the speedy Harwager down the line, and there's one down.
Yeah, right here you see her get the off-speed. Harwager pointing it right back to her. She's got to be quick with it, too. Harwager made it close, but cleanly fielded it, thrown it over to first. He got the first out, which is huge for this team.
Jenna Minnick, she had one of the 2 home run blasts last time up. Tries to put the bunt down, that hit her in the box, yep. Great job by our home plate umpire to catch that immediately.
And this is a whole new slate for this Marian team. They batted through the entire lineup in the first inning. Now seeing a new pitcher, a lefty pitcher now. Got to make your adjustments as they kind of got the hang of Noah pretty quick in the first inning.
Turns on this one, ground ball, third baseman, great diving effort, and gets her by a step. Well done at third base. Third baseman is Stanbridge. Handling the action at the hot corner, and you'll see the replay couldn't have done it any better. 2 down.
And what a snag. She had a lot of space to cover on that. My eyes were over at the shortstop because I figured it was going to go in that little gap right there. But what a snag, able to get up on her feet and still make the throw in time. Great play over there at third base.
Here's Sierra Norman. Norman drew a walk and was forced out at second base last time through. Just inside, 2-0 the count. Quick glance towards the dugout. That's the wristband for the signal. Fastball right at the top of the zone. Norman just nods her head in approval. Pitcher's pitch, 2-1 the count. Outfield straight away here for the number 3 hitter. Tails inside, 3-1 the count. Reference the walk to Norman. Her last time up. Her team high 11th walk drawn this season. On base percentage above .450 for the number 3 hitter. And draws it again. Well, both previous walks have come in to score. See if that happens again with Grace Meyer. Grace hit into a fielder's choice, but would score on the 2-run blast by Green.
Now batting for the Knights,
Meyer batting .277.
Grace Meyer.
Grace from Seymour and played for the Owls at Seymour High School. Off speed in for a strike, 0-1 the count. Not close. Not only do you see pitcher check that wristband when the signal's called from the dugout, so too does everybody else on the field. All players with a wristband on. Outfield's going to give it a cursory glance. Infielders are locked in. This one, opposite field. Should get to the fence. Now, can Norman score from there? Scottman is going to give her the wave around. She will. That is a run-producing double. And once again, 3 walks. They've all scored for Marian. Knights lead 5-0.
She just roped this one in the left field. Great job of taking that outside pitch exactly where it was. This one going all the way to the fence. So smooth. And like you said, those walks coming to hurt this Taylor defense. And Marian adds another one on the board.
So 5th double of the season. 8th extra base hit in total for Meyer. RBI number 14. Haley Green tries to go oppo from what she did last time, but Rossiter is there, and the inning is over. We are quickly through 2 here at Marian, and the Knights enjoying a 5-0 lead. We're back in a moment. You're watching Marian University Softball on ISC.
Does your school offer high-quality education? Does it offer virtual or hybrid options? Marian University Preparatory School educates students in a safe, faith-based environment focused on college and career exploration. Here at Marian University Preparatory School, we empower parents and help students to master what they love and learn as they live. We are now enrolling students in grades 6 through 9 this fall. Full financial aid packages are still available. Act now to make MU Prep your school for 2022.
It's a great day to take a walk in the park. And if this is your park, we're happy you're here on the ISC Sports Network. And alongside Kelsey Casper, Greg Rakestraw with you. Thanks to our tremendous ISC Sports Network crew, Chase Eisnagel, Aaron Van Wolde, Daryl Tibbs, and Rob Lynch. Thanks to Jordan Shue, Vince Morelez, and Alec Word DeFord. We're catching Alec on his residual 48-hour high after WrestleMania weekend, so I'm glad that Alec could recover in time to come hang with us on this Tuesday afternoon. 8, 9, and 1 coming up this time through for Taylor.
Leading off the top of the 3rd inning for the Taylor Trojans, number 9, Chelsea Boland.
So Chelsea Boland, freshman from Madison Grant High School. Her high school, one of the more unique nicknames in Indiana high school sports. The Argyles.
The Argyles.
The Argyles.
Care to explain what an Argyle is?
I think they're socks, I think. 1-0 the count. That's in for a strike. Bowling on the season. Second leading batter. Batting .382. She's appeared in most games, but oftentimes it's been for an at-bat or two. This one sent towards the Marian dugout. The count at 1-2. 13 hits and 34 at-bats. This Taylor team. So comes back with the fastball, and again, Bowen will see at least one more pitch. The routine for Marian is that Stunkel throws the first half of the doubleheader, and they'll come back with pitching depth in game number 2. Off the hands, Green's got it. This inning starts the same way as the last one did. A put out in the glove of the third baseman, 1 down.
Stunkel doing a great job. Screwball on the inside, jams her perfectly. She got nothing to do but just get it off the inside of the bag. Third baseman's there to make the catch.
Madison Standridge now to the plate. This marks the first trip through the Taylor lineup. And Taylor, too, also a Madison Grant graduate. It's a Taylor team that has some returning faces from last year, but there's a good amount of freshmen up and down the lineup as well. 2-0 the count, and this is really kind of the first time that Stunkel's been behind a batter.
Yeah, she's doing a great job of getting ahead of counts, really putting the pressure on these batters. A lot of times, the first pitch is going to be the best pitch that you see in these at-bats, so Taylor's got to be ready and aggressive at the plate from the first pitch.
2-0 swinging. That's probably maybe something the freshman will learn. Hey, make it be your pitch going forward at 2-0. That one's popped up in foul territory, 2 down.
Yeah, learning to be patient at the plate is something that's going to develop over your collegiate career. It's not the same, as high school where they're going to put it right in front of you and it's going to be your pitch. You got to learn how to be patient against a pitcher like Stunkel, of course, too. When she's down, she's probably going to get the strike really close to the plate. So if it's not your pitch, though, you got to learn to let it go and wait for your opportunity.
So Emma West. Emma tap her back to Stunkel her first time up. Green's there. Well, she has fielded her position as well as she has hit the softball today, has Green. And through 3 innings, just 1 more than the minimum so far faced by Stunkel. Knights lead 5-0. We're back after this on the ISC Sports Network.
Pat Sullivan here for the Michaelis Corporation. They've been in business over 35 years. I'm here with Joe Polizzi to talk emergency services. Now, Joe, when I set my house on fire with a toaster, you were actually in my yard before the firefighters left.
Well, Pat, I remember that call like it was yesterday, and although I was disappointed that it was yours, I was happy that I was going to be able to provide some assistance.
You know, this true story, a firefighter actually told me I needed to call someone for emergency services, kind of obvious, and I told him Michaelis was on the way. He said, great, because they're the real deal. Joe, now what do you do in these situations when you show up?
Well, we try to be a calming influence, and we try to find out what the needs are of the family. Everybody's needs are different. Everybody's desires are different. What we try to do is match what we could provide with what they need and do it very smoothly.
I've lived it. If you find yourself needing emergency restoration service in the wake of a fire, flood, or storm, give the Michaelis Corporation a call anytime, 24/7, 844-FIX-INDY.
Well, as we come back to action, have a hit batsman for Marian. Thank our friends at Pepsi. We'll get them in a matter of moments, but Deere was hit by the first pitch. Grab a Pepsi and some friends and get in the game. Pepsi, proud partner of the Marian University Knights. So runner at first. Kedlowski on for her second inning of work for Taylor. It's in for a strike. Baker, the DP. Singled on the ball, hit back to Mackenzie Noah in the circle in the bottom half of the first. Marian 4 in the home half of the first inning. Tacked on 1 more with a 2-out rally last time through. Change up not offered at by Baker, and the count levels at 1-1. So Madeir and Baker, back-to-back freshmen for Coach Fleming's squad. Turns on this one, fair ball, inside the bag. Runners will be at second and third. And again, shows you the pop that Marian has. That's the 7-hitter. Just pulled that one down the third base line.
You can see she's ahead of it right here, and just on a straight line, her bat takes that one down the third base. Standridge tries to get at least a glove on it, but that one rolls all the way to left field. They do well when they have runners on base in this game, and they continue to prove it. Runners on third and second now, nobody out.
For Baker, that is her 4th double of the season. Infield has to be in a 5-0 game. This is Knox for a strike. Knox a single to left center her last time up. Knox batting .244 on the season. Sends us into right field. Right fielder Rossiter coming in. Runner will fake the tag, but now ball gets away from the catcher. Could be a play at the plate. Throw not in time. And well, we were showing you Madeir. The reason that she kind of had felt forced to head towards home is that the runner at second base behind her, and Baker, was about 20 feet behind her.
A little miscommunication there on the base pass, but actually a good decision to hold up at third, because Rossiter had a heck of a throw all the way to the plate. She probably would have been out if she ended up going, but again, the overthrow, catcher not able to field that properly. That one lets a run go past. And Marian still with a runner on third.
So new hitter coming through the lineup here. So Brenna Fink, who's stepping to the plate. Freshman from Franklin Central High School. More of a run-producing opportunity here. Fink 1 for 8 on the season. That one hit has resulted in 2 runs batted in. Again, infield in. Took a pretty good cut at that one. Couldn't catch up with the knee-high fastball. With Kedlowski having played at New Pal and Fink at Franklin Central, I guarantee you these two know each other pretty well. Not to mention, of course, travel ball and things like that, players of this area. When tails away, good eye by Fink. So Baker is at third. There is one out. Marian now has scored in all 3 innings so far. Lasers this one to center, over the center fielder's head. Would have scored a run regardless. Fink will have an extra base hit and her 3rd RBI of the season. First extra base hit is a Marian night as well. And 7-0 the lead for Marian.
Fink doing a great job. This ball went straight off the bat and just went right over the center fielder's head. What a rocket off the bat. As someone coming in as a pinch hitter too, she's only had 8 plate appearances so far this season as a freshman, really proving herself and taking advantage of the opportunity she was given.
So Harwager and Pritchett, by the way, will now re-enter in Fink's spot. So Pritchett will return to the 9 position in left field. So Fink does her job, gets one big swing, it's an RBI, and makes a left turn to the dugout. So Harwager, a tapper back to the pitcher last time up. This time shortstop's got it. Throws over to first. Runner going to try to advance from second to third, and able just to sneak in there in time was Pritchett. So Harwager retired. 2 down.
Pritchett doing a good job staying patient there at second base, waiting to see that throw come through. She has enough speed to be able to get her over to third base, but she did a good job of staying, watching the throw be all the way made. Taylor needed the out at first, so now we have a player at third for Marian.
Here's Minix. Homer and a ground ball to third base. A home run and 2 RBI for Minix, her 2nd home run. Runs batted in 16 and 17 of the season. Tries to put the bunt down. Can the second baseman drop the ball? So the run will score. Minix into second base. You force the second baseman to cover. Couldn't make the catch in time and make it 8-0 now in favor of Marian.
Yeah, Minix actually put a little too much power on that. Rolled right to the pitcher. They had her at first base, but not enough length to make the stretch and make the out. Minix, good reaction time too, seeing the ball got away. The right fielder was there, but she ran for it at second base. Able to get there in time, but Taylor taking a timeout here, talk things over, hopefully settle down to get things going to get the final out of the inning.
So 4 in the first, 1 in the second. Now 3 here in the home half of the third. Marian appears well on their way to a 24th consecutive victory and a 13th win in as many games played in Crossroads League action. Off-spin in for a strike on Norman. Norman has walked twice and scored once. And that one rattles the cage, literally. So second batter hit by a pitch this inning. Norman getting some good-natured grief from the first base coach saying, why didn't you move?
On those, you're kind of told not to. Sometimes on those, you see the off-speed, you see her head just stay straight. It took a little while for the off-speed changeup to get there, but not moving an inch
when you're the
was Norman.
When you're the third hitter, you almost feel like you waste an opportunity when you get hit by a pitch.
That's true.
7 or 8 hitter, okay, wear one for the team.
But number
3 hitter, no, you want to take a bigger swing than that, but she'll happily move along. Here's Meyer. Doubled in a run last time up. Norman now has reached base all 3 times, all 3 innings for Marian. After batting around in the first, Marian now sends an 8th batter to the plate in this inning. That was just off the corner. Skies this one, but it'll reach the seats and out of play. So 1-2 the count. The RBI for Meyer last time up, her 14th of the season. Good job by the catcher to snare that one.
Yeah, you can see Kotlotsky brings a little bit of speed with her and a lot of spin, but she needs to settle down. Her inconsistency is kind of hurting her right here in the third inning.
Turns on this one. That's towards the Taylor bullpen. It'll drop, but well foul. As Rostetter's been awfully busy down the right field line, gives that one a chase. Marian team, first place in the league at 12-0 in league actions. Mount Vernon Nazarene that is in second at 10-2. Goshen and Spring Arbor round out the current top 4 Crossroads League play. Good eye that time. That's off the plate. And the count runs full at 3-2. So obviously with 2 outs, runners will leave once the ball is past home plate. They're going. This one sprayed foul. Meyer can keep the inning going, then Green will come to the plate. Ball 4. The last 3 runners to reach have reached on an error, a hit by a pitch, and a walk. So while the Marian bats have been active, Taylor has been complicit in their own demise from a pitching standpoint at times. And a reminder that the 3 previous walks have all come around to score in this game. Green already a 2-run homer. Watches that one trickle across the outside corner.
Yeah, with 3 runners on base, first pitch strike is huge in this scenario. So Kudlotsky needs to get ahead early if she wants to get this final out 10 this inning.
Green, a sophomore from Hamilton Heights High School. Certainly worth noting that her walk-up song is from 30 years ago. Little Alan Jackson and Chattahoochee.
It's a classic, though.
This one misses, 2-1 the count. More sun than clouds now as we approach the 1 hour mark of this game. Marian in firm control. Turns on this one. Is it a 2-home run afternoon? No, but it's off the wall. Marian's lead will grow to 10. And that miss being a grand slam by about 2 feet.
You could tell she wanted it too, smiling over there at second base, nearly putting this exactly where her first home run was. That one goes off the wall, almost clears the bases. And this Marian lineup continuing to dominate, bringing the offensive heat against Taylor.
Well, Green with 4 RBI today. She now has 24, so that puts her atop the team standings on that front. We'll have a meeting of the minds here in the circle. Jessica Brown out to talk to her young pitcher and her infield. Brown spent the last 2 years as the head coach at Palm Beach Atlantic at the NCAA Division II level in Florida. See Haley Green's afternoon, what she has done both from an offensive standpoint and a defensive standpoint. She's had quite the last 60 minutes for Coach Fleming's squad.
Batting for the Knights, number 11, Abby Madeir.
So Abby Madeir now, again, she was hit by a pitcher previous time up this inning. So 10th batter to come to the plate in this go-around for Marian, and it'll be more than that. She'll drive a pair of runs home. Throw cut off. I don't think there's going to be a play at home plate, but it was closer than the first baseman thought it would be. That's a 12 on the board now for Marian.
Yeah, good decision, like you said, to cut that ball off. If that one goes to home, Madeir would have had over to second base, but a good job attacking the first pitch. We've seen Stokowski the last couple batters getting ahead of her count, at least throwing a first pitch strike. So Madeir, seeing the first pitch she got, drove it right up the middle. It's a 12-0 ball game.
Well, a pinch hitter coming in for Marian. First of all, for Madeir, those were her 14th and 15th RBI of the season. Lily Went now will get a chance to hit. A softball field she played her high school ball at that I probably pass, 4 or 5 times a day. Chittard High School, right off of Kessler Boulevard. That misses low. Went on the season 1 for 9. 2 runs scored, 3 runs batted in. Coach Fleming in a 12-0 game here in the bottom half of the third. A chance to go a little deeper in his bench. And for a strike.
Yeah, the good thing about this scenario is having players who normally don't get into these type of situations have opportunities. We've seen a couple freshmen already have opportunities to pinch hit, get at bats at the college level, and really try to prove themselves. Opportunity to make a name.
Went the 11th batter to come to the plate here in this inning. Already the second pinch hitter we have seen here in the home half of the third. And 4 in the first, 1 in the second, and now 7 here in the third. And activity continuing in the bullpen now for Taylor. That's in for a strike. If this inning gets much longer, I might see Lindsay Nolt into the contest for Taylor. Senior from Leo High School. Leo, a perennial power in high school softball. That ball gets away from the catcher, off the umpire, and a wild pitch will allow Madeir to scamper on to second base. Count runs full now. This one down the right field line. Foul. Brooke knocks his spot as the player due up on deck, but again, there's a pinch hitter for her as well. And Caitlin Phillips, if it gets to her in the order. Payoff pitch. Strike three called. Inning is over, but again, a ton of runs put on the board by Marian. 11 come to the plate, 7 come in to score. 12-0, they lead through 3 on the ISC Sports Network.
Marian University is like a home to me.
Campus is where I made friends that I know will last a lifetime.
Academics, sports, or arts, Marian's got something for you.
Plus, downtown Indy is just 10 minutes away from campus.
I'm a huge sports fan. Living in Indy, I've got the Knights, the Colts, and the Pacers.
Applying was so fast and easy.
I went to Marian for the education, but what I took away was the experience.
Marian University offers an exceptional education and an unforgettable experience. Apply today for full scholarship consideration at marian.edu.
I want to thank our friends at BSN Sports, the preferred provider of apparel for Marian University Athletics. As this game has gotten to 12-0 after 3, Marian's going to go a little deeper into their bench and frankly going to save a little wear and tear on the arm of their ace in Olivia Stunkel. So they will bring in the player that has their second best ERA in Abigail McPherson. Now, McPherson has not thrown that many innings, and really for Marian it's been a 1-2 punch. Stunkel has thrown the first half of games. Sydney Wilson has thrown the second half. Other than that, it's been a grand total of 21 2/3 innings pitched by 3 other players the entirety of the year. McPherson has thrown 6 2/3. She has a 1.05 ERA. McPherson, unfortunately for her, has the only loss on the slate for Marian this year. She is a junior from Lebanon High School. By the way, Reagan Hyatt will come in to catch her this inning as well for Marian. She, too, another new pal Dragon. So Stunkel faces 10 batters, gives up 1 hit, and struck out 3.
Just a dominant performance, per usual, from Stunkel today. We saw her dominate with the power. Not much this Taylor offense could do against her, striking out 3, like you said, using the power and her off speed, and doesn't allow a single run through her 3 innings.
McPherson misses. This is Jersey Tannehill, the first baseman, struck out her first time up. And Marian played yesterday. They are off tomorrow, which is probably a pretty good thing considering the weather forecast. And they'll be right back here to play St. Francis coming up on Thursday. St. Francis just 1-11 in league play, but again, you'd think Stunkel would see the first game as she does most doubleheaders. And then, as of now, the Marian women are off for the weekend. It is always subject to change. This one misses high, 2-1 the count. If you're McPherson, you are charged with throwing strikes. Letting your fielders do a little work as you've got a little cushion to work with in terms of run rule territory by the time you get to the next inning. Popped up. Third baseman backs up. Shortstop comes over and kind of in between where she and Pritchett, in terms of Harwager, can make the play. And it's now 2-2.
Yeah, McPherson, a quality arm coming out of this bullpen. She actually missed most of last season as she underwent shoulder surgery. So being able to bounce back and kind of get back on her feet. She had a pretty successful freshman outing. She made 14 starts, played in 24 games. So she showed some impressive numbers her freshman year, kind of getting her feet back into it in her junior season.
Change up, left fielder going back. That's up against the wall. It'll be a stand-up double for Jersey Tannehill. Just the second hit today for Taylor batters. Libby Lehman now will come to the plate. Lehman a pop up to Haley Green her first time through. Pops up. Center fielder. Not too far behind the second baseman in Minix at that point. And there's one down. That lone Marian loss happened on the opening game of the season. That was to Indiana Tech. 2-1 fashion. That was the one game that Marian played, the one day they played before heading down to Florida to start their season. It's been nothing but wins ever since. For those of you that maybe happen to be passing by and finding our game today that don't follow the Crossroads League, Indiana Tech not a part of the league. They're in the Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference. Ball hit the batter. McCurry turned into that one a little bit. Got nicked by it, hit by a pitch. Runners at first and second with one down. By the way, I reference Indiana Tech with Marian for a couple of reasons. Those two schools are right now amongst the top 4 in the NAIA and will be like the Learfield Cup. In other words, the all-sports trophy. 3 of the top 4, because Indiana Weston's in that mix too, all hail from the state of Indiana. Just tails away, 1-0 the count. Here's Rostetter. She had the only base hit coming into the inning. The right fielder for Taylor. That misses 2-0 the count. Ground ball. Pitcher will gladly trade movement for outs in a 12-run scenario. Runners advance, but there's 2 down.
Yeah, McPherson getting a little uneasy out there after getting the first 2 runners on, and also facing one of the best hitters in Rostetter, but able to throw that off-speed down 2-0 in the count. Barely getting a piece of that one. She knocks it back right to McPherson to get the out at first. Like you said, moving the runners better in this situation with a lot of cushion in this lead.
Grimm watches that one go by. As the bells toll for 4 o'clock. On this beautiful campus near the northwest side of Indianapolis. Ground ball. Shortstop's got it. Harwager over to first, and well, 2 runners will be stranded. No damage done, and it's a clean sheet, if you will, for the relief pitcher in McPherson. Through 3.5, a chance to tack on some insurance runs. We get to run rule territory next inning if you're Marian. They lead 12-0 on the ISC Sports Network.
Still waiting? You could have been seen by an orthopedic specialist at Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Avoid the wait, cost, and drama of the ER. Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Orthopedic care without the drama. Find a location near you. Still waiting? You could have been seen by an orthopedic specialist at Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Avoid the wait, cost, and drama of the ER. Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Orthopedic care without the drama. Find a location near you.
It'll be the 3rd pitcher of the day for Taylor, Lindsey Nolt. Katie Kotlowski pitched the 2nd and 3rd innings. Nolt now will come on. A senior from Leo High School. I've had the pleasure of doing several Leo appearances in the state championship game in different classes for IHSA softball. I have frequently made appearances in the 4A championship game despite being a 3A enrollment. So now Marian will start to send some more pinch hitters to the plate.
Leading off of the Knights in the
So
bottom of the
Caitlin
fourth inning,
Phillips.
Number 7, second baseman, Caitlin Phillips.
So Phillips, not even a full-time starter, despite the fact she's hitting .500. Now that's 11 for 22, but still again shows you the potency of this Marian lineup. Trying to bunt her way on for a base hit. Phillips, no home runs, 3 runs batted in, 8 runs scored. She is a senior from Crown Point. Count at 2-0. This is the 8th spot in the lineup. This was Knox's spot in the order. Knox 1 for 2 today. They're going to say that she officially offered at that. Also, you get the neighborhood play at 12-0. 2-1 the count. There is potentially some further activity for Taylor in case it's needed. Time is given. Outfield shallow, expecting that this one goes in the ground from Phillips. McCurry tried to drag that one across the corner, but Carrie Ainsworth, our home plate umpire, wasn't having it. 3-1 the count now. Contact made, but steered foul. On the count of 3-2. Pritchett was pinch hit for by Fink in her last appearance. In the on-deck circle. Coming up next for Marian. That'll mark the 4th time through the lineup here in the bottom half of the 4th, and that one sails wide, and Phillips works a walk. It's the 3rd different pitcher that Marian has faced so far.
Batting for the Knights, number 9, Anna Pritchett.
Here's Pritchett, struck out in her lone plate appearance. Makes contact. Good job by Standard just to fire over to first again. At 12-0, you will take outs in the other direction too. And there's one away.
Yeah, Fink doing her job there, just placing it perfectly down the third base line. Not giving her too much time to make the play at second. She goes to first. She does her job of moving that runner over to second.
Well, they're scrolling through the Marian schedule. The 12 runs scored by Marian, the most they have scored in a game this year. Outside corner, Harwager. Walked and scored in the first. A couple of ground ball outs since that time. For the former Trinity Lutheran high school player. Off speed, misses 1-1 the count. Marian home for their next 2 doubleheaders, and they have a rather lengthy slate on the road following that. It's over for a strike. And they'll tend to play some of the teams right below them in the standings on that road trip coming up next week. They'll play at Goshen next Saturday. And they will head to Mount Vernon Nazarene the Monday after that. 2-2 the count. Not exactly much time to practice at this point in time of the year. It is pretty much playing games every other day, if not more than that. Harwager lays off of it. And the count goes full at 3-2.
Nope, having the opportunity to face Plenty of lefties at this point in the lineup for Marian. You can see her really hitting that outside corner. Some of them are just scraping the outside and getting called for a strike, but a lot of them outside, a little too far. But she's staying over there.
Ground ball, second baseman. Nice play. Harwager is retired. So 2 down. Phillips will move over to third base. Another pinch hitter coming in here for Coach Fleming's squad. So it's Vivian Harris that will come on here. She is a sophomore from Brownsburg High School. This is Minnick's spot in the lineup, who homered, scored twice, and drove in 2. Harris on the season. This is her 4th appearance. She is 1 for 3. It's in for a strike. Counted 0-1. It has turned into perhaps the best day of the spring here this afternoon. Popped up. Nolt barely had to move. Well, for the first time today, a 0 goes on the board for Marian. It's quite all right because they got a 12-run lead going to the top of the 5th. Taylor has to score 5 to keep this game going. Back for said top of the 5th when we come back to Marian on the ISC Sports Network.
Pepsi's always had great taste. Today, try great taste with 0 sugar. This is the Pepsi with 0 compromises. This is Pepsi 0 Sugar.
Yes, we are in close proximity to the Indianapolis International Airport, or the campus of Marian University. Just a reminder, fans, that joining the M Club is the absolute best way to support student athletes at Marian University. For more information, visit marian.edu/M Club. Greg Rakestraw, Kelsey Casper with you. Here on the ISC Sports Network, on for a second inning of work is Abigail McPherson. Starting outfield out there for Marian. Kind of got a mix of subs and starters on the field right now. Maddie Trissler is in there for the Knights playing first base. Maddie played for a really good small school program in Cascade that we had a chance to do one of their games last spring. Cascade, one of the growing numbers of high school programs that has an all-turf field at this point. I know Indian Creek is adding that this year. Crazy thing is that it's not just the 4As that do it. It's now the 2As and 3As that are getting turf facilities as well. Meg Stanley at the plate. Watches that one go by for a strike. Stanley, a strikeout victim against Stunkel in her previous plate appearance. 7, 8, 9 to up this time through for Taylor. A little too wide that time. 1-1 the count. Fastball splits the dish, and the count at 1-2. Marian trying to win in run rule fashion for a 5th time. And what will be 24 wins on the season. Never threatened the zone on that one. 2-2 the count. This one off the end of the bat. No way that either Trissler or Phillips could track that one down. Phillips hit for Knox and stayed in to play second base after her plate appearance last time up. Stanley batting .250. 6 runs batted in for the sophomore from Shenandoah. The 2-2. Ground ball, foul ball. As always, I want to thank our buddy Mitch Huppert for his assistance on today's broadcast. Again, the 2-2. Swing and a miss. And as you pointed out last inning, it's tough once you get past the top 2 in conference play to get your other pitchers lots of innings. Good to see McPherson taking advantage of the opportunity.
Yeah, coming out of the bullpen and starting out this inning with a strikeout. She struggled a little bit last inning. She had a hit by pitch in air on the field that led to a double. So now settled down here just a little bit. She got ahead in that count. Stanley giving her a little hard time with a couple of those foul balls, but able to finish that one with a strikeout.
Here's Bolin. Bolin a pop up to the third baseman her last time up. Line drive, snared. Well, I guess the rule works in softball, too. Your defensive replacement, ball's going to find you. Phillips with the highlight reel defensive play, and Taylor down to a final out.
You can almost see it in slow motion, but she just lays out perfectly in the right placement in the field, stretches out her arm, finds it right in the glove. Great defensive play over there at second base.
Here's Standridge. Hit a foul pop up to the first baseman her last plate appearance. Ground ball, Green's got it. Takes her time, rifles over to first, and that is it for game number 1. In about an hour and 15 minutes, Marian makes quick work of Taylor, 12-0. Your final thoughts in the first half of our double dip?
Complete domination from this Marian offense, helped by the starting pitcher of Stunkel, but nothing Taylor could do to stop the bats of Marian. That kept going from top to bottom in this lineup.
Yeah, Stunkel gets the win. She is now 12-0 on the season. Her ERA will drop even further from the .6 at which it currently stands. So make it 24 in a row for the Knights. They are now 13-0 in Crossroads League play. Those of you watching on the stream, stay with us. We will take about a 25-minute break or so. Come back for game number 2 as Taylor looks for more success the second time around. But for now, goodbye from Marian. Knights win game 1, 12-0 in 4.5 innings. Back in a few minutes on the ISC Sports Network.
This is the Pepsi for America's Best Barbecue. Worthy of 100-mile detours and 1,000 likes. Looks good. This is the Pepsi for mopping, dipping, and dousing. Whatever you're craving, this is the Pepsi for you. This is the Pepsi for serious fans and serious eats. This is the Pepsi for Sundays at the ballpark and days off at your favorite pizza joint. Right, Aaron?
Best slice in New York.
Whatever you're craving.